You're listening to the One Man Show Network. Welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast with your host, Aaron Weinbaum.
All right, welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast, the Thanksgiving Eve edition, I guess, as it were, for those of you listening on Periscope or YouTube or Facebook or wherever I may be streaming. If this is your first time, you can chime in. I will get to all your comments. And today we are sponsored by Manscaped. I'm super excited about this. So they sent me over the Lawnmower 3 to try. You know, full confession here. I just used the 2 the other day. The 2 is great. I'm looking forward to using the 3. It's waterproof, and nobody likes a jungle down there. And trust me, from someone that has used a beard trimmer down there before, the worst thing you could do is get a little snaggy snag. So I've done it. Okay, I'm not proud of it, and so I'm happy to get the 3. I've got some ball toner as well, which gives you a little pick-me-up during the day, and ball deodorant. So, wonderful news there. And if you already got the 2, get the 3. Pass down the 2 to somebody else. I passed it down to my eldest son. It is a rite of passage, if you will. And so you just go to manscaped.com, promo code MMAFP, get you 20% off, not 25, 20% off. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. Look at this. Look at all the goodies he sent me. I'm so looking forward to trying all these. So, promo code MMAFP gets you 20% off. But we're not here to talk about my balls. Well, maybe you are. We're here to talk about the main... I'm just picking a few fights here for this UFC event here taking place Thanksgiving weekend, Saturday the 28th at the UFC Apex, coinciding with the Mike Tyson-Roy Jones fight. So I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm going to have 2 TVs going, I'm not going to lie. So we're having a huge, I don't want to tell you how big the celebration is. There's 3 people coming over, because I wouldn't want to have more than that during this crisis, during this pandemic. And we're going to have 2 TVs set up, one for the Tyson fight and one, of course, for the UFC. So I'm picking 3 fights on this card. I'm not going to bore you too much. And like I said, feel free to comment if you are there. First fight, this is taking place at flyweight, Rachel Ostovich versus Gina Danger Mazzani. So this is Gina's flyweight premiere, I guess, and Rachel Ostovich. Let's see what Rachel's done. So, so she hasn't fought since January 2019. That nasty armbar and I against Paige Van Zant. Before that, she loses to Montana De La Rosa. Hasn't won in a while. Hasn't won since 2017 against Karine Gavorkian. Wow. Very interesting here. So Gina Danger Mazzani moving down. She actually used to date a friend of mine, which is interesting. Just lost as well. That was a short notice fight though against Julia Avila, and Julia's no joke. Before that, a win over Valerie Barney. She hasn't won since January last year. And then a couple losses, Macy Chiasson and Lena Landsberg. So interesting here. In that Lena Landsberg fight? No, that was featherweight. Okay. Yeah, so this is interesting. Rachel hasn't fought in a long time. Gina coming down in weight. I don't know how that's going to go for her, because I thought she was kind of right sized for that. I said featherweight. I meant bantamweight. Right sized for that bantamweight weight class. And Rachel, not as much experience. So if Mazzani can make the weight, I think she's got this. So, yeah. Okay, this one I'm a little conflicted about. Anthony Lionheart-Smith, Devin Clark, both these guys wanted to fight. Let's just take a look-see. And I'm thinking I have a little issue here with my stream, but that's all right. I'm going to record this anyway. So, went from title contender all of a sudden to Oh, yeah, I did mess this up. Gosh darn it. Oh, well. Oh, well. Anyway, went from title contender to losing 2 in a row. Alexander Rakic, Glover Teixeira just looked like the smaller guy in both those fights. And, which was interesting because he was like looking great, and he went the distance with John Jones. And let's take a look before the John Jones fights. He comes back from behind Alexander Gustafsson, rear naked choke, round 4. I mean, look at this win streak he put together here. Volkan Oezdemir, Shogun Rua, Rashad Evans, kind of crazy. And then, how long in between fights did this happen? So in between fights, he had how much time off here? Oh gosh, from May, then August. So yeah, August to November is a little better than I thought. And let's take a look at Devin Clark. And in all fairness, I'm not super familiar with the guy. And you would hope that this is kind of a bounce backer for Anthony Smith, but I don't know. He beat Alonzo Menafield back in June of this year. By the way, thanks to James Lynch for suggesting Tapology instead of what I had been using, a mix between Sherdog and Wikipedia, I guess. And Wikipedia doesn't always update. Before that, I went over Daquan Thompson, loses to Ryan Spann. Gosh, he also loses to Alexander Rakic, loses to Jan Blachowicz. Oh, Jake Collier. He has a win over Jake Collier. How about that? Was I there? I'm trying to think if I was at this fight, and I think I was. Yeah, 2017. Was this Kansas City? Yes, it was. I was at this fight. I saw these guys fight. How about that? Fun fact, Jake Collier used to work for me, so in Cuba, Missouri, believe it or not. But strength of schedule, I'm going Anthony Smith, but we'll see here. And I don't think Devin's the biggest guy either. I do remember this fight. And, Devin was a lot shorter than Jake. I'm going to look at this real quick. See how tall he is, because I don't think he's that tall. Well, he's 6'0". How tall is Anthony Smith? Let's check a look here. So Anthony Smith is also, oh yeah, he's 6'4". So yeah, he is way taller. This is hard to pick. I hope Anthony took the appropriate time off between two really hard fights between Glover Teixeira and Alexander Rakic, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that. We'll see. But I am going to pick Anthony Smith, and if he doesn't win this fight, I don't know what's next for him. I don't know if he tries to get a nutritionist and make a safe cut down to back to middleweight. So we'll see. I mean, this is kind of the path that Weidman and Rockhold went, and they only fought once at light heavyweight, and they both went right back down to middleweight. So we'll see. Of course, against, it was, I'm trying to think, Rockhold and, why am I blanking on Weidman? Yeah, Weidman, they both fought the guys who just fought for the title. So Jan Blachowicz and Dominic Reyes. Okay, next up, Curtis Razor Blaydes. I didn't put his nickname in like I should have. Taking on Derrick the Black Beast Lewis. Let's take a look here at Curtis, what he's done here. He's beaten Alexander Volkov, beaten Junior Dos Santos, beaten Shamil Aburmagov, Justin Willis, Alistair Overeem, Mark Hunt. Man, he's beaten a who's who. The only person he is not beaten was Francis Ngannou twice. Now let's look at the streaky Derrick Lewis here. Streaky Derrick Lewis beats, he is coming off a 3 in a row. Alexei Oleinik, Ilir Latifi, which, Ilir might have squeaked that one out, and it was a unanimous decision. I didn't feel like it. I mean, Latifi pressed the action the entire time. I thought that was weird. A win over Blagojevic. So, got hit he likes to, let's see, he got hit in the belly by Junior Dos Santos, and he was looking a little doughier in that fight, losing the champ at the time, Daniel Cormier. But then he had a nice string of wins before that. Alexander Volkov, that last second punch in 11 seconds in a fight he was losing. Francis Ngannou in the most boring fight in heavyweight history, and Marcin Tybura. Yeah, so very interesting here. I think Derrick Lewis, he's learned his lesson. He's coming in better shape and whatnot. But Curtis Blaydes beats everyone in this division, possibly even Stipe, that is not Francis Ngannou. So, I like the Black Beast. He's very entertaining. I hope he wins just so we can see the post-fight speech, if you will, or interview. But in the end, Curtis Blaydes. And that's it. This is a short and sweet MMA Fight Picks podcast. One more shout out to his sponsor, HeroSoapCompany.com, made by veterans to benefit veterans, all natural soap company. Go to HeroSoapCompany.com and then MMA FP for the promo code to get 10% off. All right, that is it for this week. And until next time, have a great Thanksgiving and shalom.
Please remember to support the podcast by visiting the affiliate links on AaronSaysWhat.com.